Good morning, Internet. Welcome back to Bunny Hall, Making a Life by the Sea. Today I thought I would share with you another section or another part of Bunny Hall. We'll still be outside today, and it actually has to do with our last video where we were cutting down Bunny's beloved tree which had died. But we had hauled quite a bit of the wood, which you probably saw us hauling it around the corner to this sort of mystery spot. And today I wanted to share that mystery spot with you. It is actually an area I hope one day to live in or bring back to its old glory. Possibly even better than its old glory. But that's enough for that. Let's go and take a look at the secret place I want to show you that hopefully one day here at Bunny Hall we can improve upon. So let's go check that out. All right, so let me remind anyone that we recently had to cut this beloved tree down here, which you can see this stump. And we had to cut it down because it had died. It had gotten borers, which is funny because the tree was probably 80 years old. It was a pine planted by Bunny herself, the namesake for the hall. And unfortunately we had to take it down. And that's in one of my previous videos. But what I wanted to share today is another aspect of Bunny Hall, another part of Bunny Hall, is where we were taking the wood. Now I've only shown a tiny bit of the property and the house here. And Bunny Hall has many secrets and little hideaway spots. And almost all of them, if not all of them, are in dire need of repair. So as much as everything else when living here is I appreciate the sea, and then I have to remind myself that I can take a tiny little section like we did the other day and plant a few flowers and spread some seashells. But then I have to ignore the longer area of weeds. And that's sort of an example of how I have to do things here. All right, so to get to the secret place that I want to show you where we were taking our trees and our lumber from the tree we cut down. So let's just cut through our little garden path here down to our fire pit. We'll start here. Now this isn't a secret because I've shown this before. This is our fire pit, which we enjoy. We can sit here of an evening and listen to the sea. But this big section of the tree has got pride of place here so that it can be used to be set upon to cook marshmallows and have s'mores and such things. Now as we come along this way, which if you'll recall, this was where we were dragging the lumber the day we were cutting it down. Now here is where the bigger pieces, which got cut into nice sizes, to use in the fire pit over the summer and into the autumn. However, some of the pieces, like see this big piece here, I think that piece, that thin wedge, but the thickness of the tree could do so well as some sort of artistic project. So we'll see. But if we turn to the right, away from the sea, this is where we are dragging our wood. And we shall pass this building, which I'm not going to tell you what it's called until after I show you our surprise, because then it'll give it away. So firstly, you have to picture, it's the 80s and the 90s. All of this overgrowth is a manageable shrub, low to the ground. This beautiful bush is much lower as well. And it's a hot day, the birds are singing, and as you come upon this rise, you see the lapping blue waters of the swimming pool. And what's that? Someone's about to jump off the diving board and splash in the cool waters? Of course. Or swim over to the shallow end and walk out of the stairs and grab a cocktail on the terrace over there, which is covered in flagstone, not weeds and grass. Or you're swimming along in the cool waters and you swim to the edge and you look out, not to the overgrowth, but to the sea, the cool blue sea. So yes, this is the swimming pool at Bunny Hall. It's quite large. At the deepest end, it's about 15 or 20 feet. And it once was a beautiful thing. And my husband has fond memories of swimming in it as a child. However, you can see now, it simply holds all of the wood we were carrying that day, as well as last year's wood. All the trees that fell in the storms, trees we've had to cut down so they don't hit power lines or the roof. They come here, and in the spring, we have a spring burn. And then, of course, we can see the only one enjoying the swimming pool right now is my nemesis, the bittersweet. Oh, burns me up to think of them. Look, it almost looks like they're swimming around in there, just splashing around, while I stay warm out in the hot summer air. They get to swim around in their cool, shaded hole. But this is a project that will happen one day at Bunny Hall. When the funds and the time allow, we will jump off this diving board again. I'm sure we should have it looked at prior to doing that. But we'll have cool blue waters to swim in, and we can look off and see the sea. We can splash about and go up to the edge, lean over, grab a G&T from a passing friend, and enjoy the view. There's also a funny story of this pool. One year there was a funny big bullfrog that decided to come into the pool, and my husband and his sister, when they were young, loved playing with it. So Bunny, their grandmother, lowered the quantity of chlorine that year so that the bullfrog wasn't harmed and they could play with him all summer, which they did. However, tale tells that the pool water was not as blue that summer, but took on a soft, pale green. But they didn't care, because they enjoyed swimming and splashing with the bullfrog. And here where you can see just tiny bits of flagstone peeping from the grass. If you were to dig down, you'd find more and more of it. But this little poolside terrace was covered with flagstones and just a little bit of grass in between, just for the softness of your toes. And there were lounges and chaises and umbrellaed tables. And all along here, though you wouldn't know it now, was a beautiful, and still is, a beautiful stone wall. It's pretty much taken over. We've cleared out some areas, but behind here is a beautiful spot full of some very nice trees. There's some Coosa dogwoods. Actually, there's quite a few Coosa dogwoods. There's some old roses back there. Again, it just needs to be taken care of and loved. And in fact, back in this corner, this might be another video another day, but I want to make this area behind the pool, even when we fix it up as a pool, into a secret garden. Because let's walk this way. If you walk back through here where you used to mow, you can see the most beautiful bunch of wild daisies. So I just have to share that as we pass my nemesis. Oh, bittersweet. But look, as the sun peeks through here, look at the beautiful wild daisies. Aren't they majestic? So I'd like to encourage these as much as possible. So yes, that is the saga of the swimming pool here at Bunny Hall. Today it's simply a green mess with branches waiting to be burned and bittersweet laughing and having its day. But one day we will swim and splash in there. I'm not sure how. As I said, funds are needed as well as time and effort, but we will get there. And look, even the stairs are still intact. You can even walk down the stairs into a sea of bittersweet. But let's just for a moment imagine that we're walking down into cool blue waters and splashing about. And let's pretend we are swimming to the edge. And over the hedges, which are tamed and beautiful and planted with more Rosa rugosa, we can spot the sea and the sailboats and the smell of the ocean and the call of the gulls. And what's that? Someone's offering us a G&T. Gladly, we'll swim out, come to the terrace, still drenched, but happy for the relaxing moment to have a cocktail by the pool. Or picture September, a warm September, warm enough to still use the pool, but as night sets in it gets cooler. So you hop out, grab your towel, and hurry quickly along the path to the waiting fire pit. But I forgot the second part of the surprise. The building in which I did not mention is the pool house. Now, the pool house actually has a new roof and a brand new slider. Well, not brand new. 2 years ago, our handyman began working on this because we thought, let's start with something small, the pool house. And then he passed away, and we have no replacement for him. So instead, you can see, again, my nemesis, the bittersweet coming up through the floor. And in there is an old hot tub, a huge hot tub. It holds about 6 people. And some shingles for the siding and old pool covers that haven't seen the day of light since probably 80s when the swimming pool was nice. But even this little deck actually has a view of the sea, though you can't tell now because these trees are filled in. In the autumn, these are deciduous, the leaves are gone, you can see out there. And at some point, I will clear this out. And this used to be Bunny's vegetable garden, and you'll be able to see the sea. So my hope for the pool house, which has electrics and propane for a stove, and it has a little bathroom, and I see it turned into a beautiful little space with a spot to change for the pool, or a nice divan or sofa to nap on. And in the corner, just there, a little easel and some paints or pastels at the ready, for on a moment I just feel like wandering out to the pool, sitting in here and sketching. So, but we have to dream and imagine that now. But you know, I'd say about 95% of Bunny Hall is made up of dreams, and the other 10% is bittersweet. But anyway, let's return to that warm September evening as it's getting cool. We've wrapped ourselves in our towel. Someone has set the fire. It's roaring. The chairs are set. Oh, look, the space on the old tree bunny lout is available. Let's sit down, slip on a nice warm woolly jumper, still with our bare swimming pool legs sticking out. We'll grab a fork and a marshmallow and make s'mores and laugh and dream about the coming summers when we can enjoy the pool. So that is another part of Bunny Hall I wanted to share with you. A part that is important to me, but not pressing enough to be on the list above getting the water working again, or having the septic looked at, or even getting new appliances. I think a swimming pool is probably on the very bottom of that list, but it's still on that list, and I've written it in ink, so one day, come hell or heck water, I shall have that swimming pool returned. So, but that's what I wanted to share today. The swimming hole here at Bunny Hall. I think that's all for today at Bunny Hall. I'm glad you were able to join me today, and I hope you appreciated seeing another little aspect of Bunny Hall. Now, I still haven't shown anything inside yet, so maybe tomorrow I will show you the kitchen, which has nothing about it which I like, but, well, that's not true. There's one thing about it I like, but I'll save that for tomorrow. So thank you for dreaming with me, imagining what the swimming pool may be one day at Bunny Hall. Until then, I'll have to just be happy with dreams, and of course, happy with our view. That's always the best consolation. So thank you again for joining me here at Bunny Hall, and I'll see you tomorrow.